everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Liddy and today we're going to be doing a big birthday manga haul. So Suki's in the frame. he always wants to be in the videos. But basically, the month of March was my birthday month and I ended up doing quite a bit of manga shopping online. I ended up purchasing a lot of used manga this time as well, and also collecting a bunch of series, as well as I finished collecting a series that I never thought I would finish collecting. So you might have seen in the thumbnail we've got a lot to cover, and there's a lot of groups manga that I started purchasing. So as you may have known, I've been really into clamp manga recently, and I've been on a mission to collect basically all of the works that they have. Obviously it's quite hard because a lot of them are kind of harder to find nowadays, but I've been getting some really good deals online. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm super excited. I'm going to cover some used books, and I also got 2 box sets because I got some money from my family, and then I used that to buy this beautiful box sets that you may have also seen on the thumbnail. And I've got some books that I also got in terms of for my pre-orders. So yeah, so I'm going to start probably with some of the pre-orders that I got. So the first volume my pre-order was Who Made Me a Princess. This one is a manhwa, and I had most of the volumes pre-ordered on Forbidden Planet, but now that Forbidden Planet has changed the whole shipping policy, I pretty much cancelled everything on there. Basically, if you order like pre-orders now, they charge per pre-order for shipping, so it's literally not worth it anymore. But this one is a manhwa. This one's volume 5 of volume 5 of Who Made Me a Princess. I actually haven't started this one yet, but I've been collecting it. The art is stunning and beautiful as always. And the next pre-order I got was The Other World's Books Depend on the Bean Counter, one of our lovely Kate Tins's favourite. I really enjoy this. I've also read the 3 volumes that were out before this one, and it was absolutely fantastic. Such a good series. If you like BL stories, you'll really love this, and if you're a bit hesitant on starting like isekai, you might really like this if you're into BL, because there is a very nice pairing, these two. And basically it's about this guy called Kondo. He is an accountant, pretty much a corporate slave to the Japanese workforce. He's obsessed with his job. That's pretty much all he does. He doesn't really do anything else. But then one day he tries to save this girl who's kind of getting sucked into like this whirlpool, and he tries to save her, and then both of them get transported into another kingdom, and she is deemed like the holy maiden, whereas he's just kind of like a side character to this story. So he ends up getting like permission to stay, and also gets a salary as well to stay. But then he's like, I'm not just gonna get money for free, I want to work. So he ends up working in this kingdom's accounting department, and then he tries to change it around because there's all these like budget things that like aren't in place, and the kingdom is basically losing money. So he's trying to turn that around, and then he meets this handsome knight Aresh, and then they kind of form like this bond where he basically can't survive without him. And it has all these really fun and amazing tropes that a lot of people love. I love it so much. I love their dynamic. They're just like, this guy is like a very, what do you call it, like a brooding character, but also has like very heightening emotions and feelings when it comes to the person that he likes, and this guy is kind of oblivious. But yeah, it's just really good. But I'm super excited to read the 4th volume. Yay! And the last pre-order I got was Pink Heart Jam. This one is also a BL. I haven't actually read the 1st volume, but I had this pre-ordered because it was a good price at the time, and then I forgot to cancel it when it actually like came out. So yeah, it just ended up coming. But yeah, I heard a lot of people love this story. I don't think it's very long either, so yeah, I'll definitely try it soon. And then I'm going to go on to some used volumes that I got from SciFIer. SciFIer was stocking some of their used volumes online, so I ended up picking a bunch. So the first volume I got on SciFIer was The Magical Revolution, was it, of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady. This one is a GL story, and it's like a girl who remembers like her past, and I think she got reincarnated into like this girl who can do magic. And I think when she was in her normal life, she really loved magic and like spells and things like that, and then she gets reincarnated into this girl, so she's pretty much obsessed with like magic and learning magic. And then one day her brother in this world ends up calling off her engagement with this girl and basically like embarrassing her in front of everyone. And while that's happening, she ends up saving that girl and is like, okay, my brother doesn't want to marry you, but you should just marry me. And so she basically appoints that girl as her apprentice to like help her do all these spells and learn magic and stuff, and then things ensue there. So this one is a really cute GL series. I don't know this character yet because I haven't got up to it, but yeah, I obviously picked this up because it was cheap on the used section of SciFIer. SciFIer have a code that you can use on used books that saves you like 20% off if you buy like 3 or more used books. So that is a really good code, definitely use that. But obviously if you're shopping on SciFIer, you can use my code for everything to get 5% off. I'll link everything down below. But yeah, this one is the first one I got from SciFIer. And then 2 other volumes I was really happy to see on the used section was I'm Giving the Disgraced Noble Lady I Rescued a Crash Course in Naughtiness. I'll spoil her with delicacies and style to make her the happiest woman in the world. So this one is like the longest title in the world, but the naughtiness bit sounds a bit strange, but I heard it's like super wholesome and there's nothing like sus going on. And they had volume 1 and 3 in the used section. They look practically new though, like let me show you. Like beautiful, new, nothing like to suggest they're like not new. So really happy about that. And I've wanted to get these, but then I saw them used, so I was so happy. But yeah, really excited to try this. It looks super cute. Let me show you the art style. Yeah, look, it just looks really wholesome. And apparently it is really wholesome, so excited to try this. And then the next volume I got used was A Galaxy Next Door. This one is a kind of sci-fi series about a girl from another galaxy ends up coming to Earth to help this mangaka draw panels, and then they end up like starting and forming a relationship due to something that happens in the first volume. I actually haven't continued this series, but I saw volume 4 on the used section for cheap. So I ended up getting it. I mean, it looks practically new as well, so, but I'm glad I have the first 2 volumes, so I just need number 3 and then the 4, and I only think this series goes up to volume 5, so it's quite a short series. So yeah. And then the next one is Yuri Is My Job volume 11. I haven't really continued this series, but I decided to get it because I have up to volume 10. I saw this in the used section, and most of the used volumes that I got are like £5 or £6, but then with the further 20% off with the used code, it's like so good. So definitely look out for used volumes on SciFIer. But yeah, this one is Yuri's In My Job. This one is a GL series as well, and obviously I'm continuing to support the GLs, and the cover is stunning. Love it. Then the last 2 used volumes I got were 2 volumes of Attack on Titan that were available in the used section. As you know already in my previous hauls, I've been collecting Attack on Titan, and I have collected majority of this series used. Actually, I've only collected this series all used, and all the ones that I've collected so far have been used in the SciFIer section. So I've been getting these volumes for like a £2 volume, which is insane. And I think I have now around like 27 volumes of this series used, so I only need like 7 more, which is insane. But I got volume 14, and then I got volume 34. This one's quite chunky. But yeah, I'm excited to try this series in the manga format. I've only been a anime watcher and an anime fan of Attack on Titan, so yeah, there's probably a lot of things that they miss obviously in the anime format. So yeah, it looks good. And then some other volumes I got used, and also some new volumes that I got on Blackwells because they were cheap. So the first used volume I got was the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation Volume 4. This is by MXCX. I can't say this because I can't pronounce Chinese very well, and I don't want to butcher it. But I got this because we're actually doing a buddy read on the Discord for volume of this series, and I wanted to get volume 1, and they have volume 1 and volume 4 for good price on eBay, and if you buy 2 you get like a 15% off discount. So I got 1 and 4, but then my volume 1 got cancelled, so I ended up only getting volume 4 in the mail, so I had to get volume 1 elsewhere, which will be in another video. But yeah, this one is a Danmei, which is BL novels, and it's by a Chinese author, of course. And this is really popular series, and I've seen on the Discord that people are loving it. I haven't been keeping up with the buddy read because I've been really busy. I've been also a little bit ill, but I need to get on it. Hopefully I can finish the first volume by the end of the month. We're gonna try. But yes, this one is in really good condition though. And then a new volume I got from Blackwells because it came back in stock was QQ Super Volume 1. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought I would ever see the day that I would own this. This has been selling for like over £100 in places, and I was like never gonna pay that much for a manga volume. So I just waited patiently. I think it's been like over a year since I started collecting the series, and it finally came back in stock in Blackwells, and of course I swooped it up, no pun intended. But yeah, it is amazing to see the volume. Let me see what date it was printed actually, to see if it was actually reprinted or not. So 2014, you can see Kyosuke Motomi, so it is a reprint. Amazing. So yeah, this will become more available to you soon if this is also a volume you're looking for. Super stoked to have this and finally be able to start and read the series. And then 2 volumes of the series I also got really cheap on Blackwells was volume 4 and volume 7 of Lovesick Ellie. I've been only collecting Lovesick Ellie when I see it on sale. I find that I'm not really like into this series because I haven't read it yet, but then when I find volumes for cheap, I can't really resist. So I have like random volumes of this. I have like 6 now volumes, and they're really random volumes of the series. I think I have like volume 9, volume 6, and now I have like volume 4 and 7. So I just pick these up when I see them. I usually see them for like £6.99 or even cheaper than that, so that's only when I get them. I haven't really been getting them anywhere else at full price. So yeah, but this is a story, a shoujo story about a girl who basically has an account, kind of like a Twitter account called Lovesick Ellie, and she kind of airs her imaginations and like thoughts, and they're a little bit like, they're supposed to be pervy, but I think it's quite mild. It's actually about one of the guys in her school, a popular guy, but then he ends up fighting the account and then stuff happens there. So I heard it's like cute and good, and also a lot of people recommend this. But yeah, I just collecting them as they come along. Alright, so the haul's getting really long and I've not even like covered half the stuff. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me show you the stuff I got also used that isn't part of like the big collection of series that I got. So more of the same series. I got these on Vinted for super cheap. I got 5 volumes of Attack on Titan, and I got these for like £12, all of these, which is insane, like super cheap. Someone was just selling a bunch of Attack on Titan volumes on their Vinted. I've been looking on Vinted every day to see the deals. Honestly, manga is getting really expensive, and I feel like as well SciFIer, there has been a little bit of changes in prices, and obviously with the 10% discount now going to 5%, it's a little bit more painful in terms of buying manga. new, so I've been looking a lot at like eBay, World of Books, and Vinted to find cheaper manga. So I found these on there. So yeah, that's why I said I have like 27 volumes of Attack on Titan used now. I literally bought all of them used, and it's amazing. And I'll show you the covers for all of them. 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. So yeah, amazing. Alright, so this is going to be now majority clamp haul. I literally went crazy on clamp this month. As I said, I've been really into collecting clamp works again. Clamp was kind of part of my childhood a while ago. I basically watched Angelic, loved it so much. And then I also read Chobits back in the day. And it's kind of like one of those nostalgic series. I think Chobits was a bit strange at the time, especially for the age that I was at, but I've been collecting clamp now again to try to revisit their older series, as well as, you know, the series that I haven't read before. So that's why I really got into it this month, and I will show you everything I got. So one of the first volumes I have is the Chobits 20th anniversary edition. This one is the first volume. I got this volume for £8.50 on Vinted. Obviously with Vinted there is shipping fees, and then there's also like a buyer fee, so it ends up being a little bit more expensive. I think I got this for overall like £12 or something, but it's really cheap for a Chobits hardcover 21st anniversary edition. You can get these for like £15 or £16 on SciFIer, so I would say it's like a really good price that I got on Vinted, and it looks basically brand new. And these hardcovers are stunning. I'm definitely going to collect the whole series. I know Chobits, I feel like maybe hasn't aged that well in terms of the story, because it is a little bit sus, but it is quite progressive in my opinion in terms of like how the themes kind of relate to society today, in terms of like all this technology, and how there are people who are like really into like virtual world rather than reality. So it kind of has like very like interesting themes that I feel like are relevant today. But yeah, the story itself slightly sus. I don't know if you're a first time Chobits reader, you'll think this is really weird, but I am picking it up for nostalgia factor. And yeah, let me show you inside. Clamp art itself is stunning. I absolutely love the artwork of Clamp. So yeah, really happy to have the first volume of this. And then I got this volume, Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Volume 7. This one was the volume that I was missing in between this series that I had. So I had like 1 to 12, but I was only missing volume 7 in that series because I got all that Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card used. So I got this, and I actually got this for free because one of my volumes of in my previous haul, Legal Drug from Clamp, was obviously damaged, and then they couldn't find a replacement again. They ended up asking me if there was anything else I wanted, and this was on Wob, so I was like, okay, I'll just get this one. So I ended up getting this one for free, which is great. And I think there's 16 volumes of Clear Card. I still haven't finished the original series, but I'm definitely going to be doing like a Clamp readathon later in the year, so definitely stay tuned for that, and I'll be reading a bunch of Clamp series then. And then I got the 4th omnibus of xxxholic. This one has been kind of out of stock for a long time. A lot of people have had trouble finding the volume 4, but it came back on Blackwell's, and so I ended up picking it up because I was hearing like lots of things about how it was harder to find. So I ended up only picking up this volume. I do have more of this series coming, but I just got the omnibus 4 for now. These are really chunky, and I'm not sure if I like them that much, but it is what it is. I mean, Clamp artwork is stunning. I love it so much. But yeah, this one is about a guy called Watanuki, and I think he can see like spirits and constantly around him, and no one else can. And then he ends up stumbling upon this like place. I don't know if it's a cafe or like a house. And then he meets this lady called Yuko, who is a witch, and she grants wishes to people, but in exchange you have to give her something that she feels like is as valuable to you as it would if she grants you that wish. And Watanuki wants a wish where he can stop seeing these spirits because obviously it's like affecting his life. And she was like, okay, I can do that for you, but you have to give me something back. And what he ends up having to do is being her part-time housekeeper and cook and things like that. So he ends up staying at her place and ends up doing basically all the chores and stuff. So yeah, and that's kind of how their relationship starts. And then obviously there's people coming in to this house to get their wishes granted, and there's like mysterious elements going on. So yeah, a lot of people praise xxxholic as one of their favorite clamp series, and I personally have not read it yet. So I'm really excited to start this series, and just the artwork, character design, she looks stunning. Love her already. But yeah, that's the fourth omnibus of that series. And then I also ended up picking up xxxholic Ray, which is the second part of the main story of xxxholic, but this one only has like 4 volumes, and then it's like it's kind of on hiatus, or it got discontinued, or it basically got dropped by Clamp. Clamp has a notorious, I guess, reputation for dropping some of their series. They've dropped like maybe 4 or 5 of their series. There's the notable one, which is X/1999, which is really popular, but they ended up dropping, so it's never got finished. And they ended up dropping this one as well. So, but I decided to collect it anyway, and I saw this for really cheap on I think it was World Books or eBay. But yeah, really excited to have this one. And then we got another full series that I ended up collecting. I got it individually, but I ended up collecting the finished series, and that is Clamp School Detectives 1, 2, and 3. So this is like the whole series. It's only 3 volumes, and it's basically about a story of these 3 guys. They're in high school and they're basically geniuses, and they end up setting up a detective kind of agency, and they also help out people to solve mysteries and stuff like that. And it's just like a fun, casual story. I think it is, from what I hear, but it's more like a fun, like comedic story rather than anything really like in depth, in terms of like Clamp can have some very heavy topics in their stories, and their stories are quite like confusing at times as well, but this one is more of a light-hearted one. And I ended up getting the first volume free from a seller that I bought a bunch of Clamp manga from, which you will see in a moment. She ended up throwing this in for free for me because I purchased so much of a series from them, and that was so nice of them. But yeah, so I got this for free. And then I bought the second one of World of Books, I think, and this one was like £4, super cheap. The condition is really good as well for such an old volume, and this is like an old Tokyo Pop series, so it's a lot harder to find now. And then this one I ended up picking up a little bit more expensive. It was from Better World Books, and it actually was a library copy, and I managed to take off all the stickers, but this one was a little bit more expensive. I ended up paying about £12 for it, but then they ended up refunding me 25% of it because I asked them if it was a library copy. They said it wasn't, and then it came as a library copy, so they ended up refunding me a bit. But I managed to take all the stickers off, so it basically looks good, just not this one. But yeah, it looks really good, and it still has like the poster inside, which is amazing. I think this one does this one have it? Yeah, this one has it too. Oh, amazing. It still has the posters in it. Ooh, who's this lady? I think this one also has it as well. Yeah, amazing. So I got still all the posters in here. Stunning. But yeah, really excited that I was able to complete one of the Clamp series in this haul. And then one that I am so happy about that on chance I was able to get was the rest of the volumes I needed for my Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles collection. Let me show you. Oh my goodness. So, oh my gosh, I am so happy that I was able to finish collecting this series. I never knew that I would ever actually finish collecting it, but if you are collecting Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, you know how hard it is to collect from 15 to 28, and I managed to do it this month out of sheer pure luck, I think, honestly. And let me tell you how I managed to purchase all these. So I ended up getting 15 from eBay. It was also a ex-library copy, but I ended up being able to take all the stickers off, and I got that from eBay. And then I found a seller who was selling volume 17, and then I asked them like, hey, do you have any more like clamp stuff, because this was the seller that gave me Clamp School Detectives volume 1 for free. And I asked her like, hey, do you have any more clamp stuff, because I wanted to buy 17 and Clamp School Detectives. And she was like, oh yeah, I have the whole of Tsubasa minus volume 22 and 24. And I was like, oh my god, I was going crazy. I was so happy. So I ended up being like, can I buy volume 16 to 28, all of them? And she got back to me. Like, that was one of the most nerve-wracking moments of my life. I don't know, I was so excited, and I was just constantly like refreshing the Vinted page to see if that she responded. And she responded, and she was like, yeah, sure, why not, like, of course, I'd be happy to sell them all to you. So I ended up buying volume 16 to 28 minus volume 22 and 24, and then she threw in Clamp School Detectives for £60. So that is really good for volumes that are super hard to find now. I see like some of these volumes in between for like £50 a volume, and I basically got 16 to 28 for £60, which is for me an absolute steal. I think that's like £5 to £5.50 a volume, which is like really, really cheap. So I was super happy about that. And obviously I didn't have 22 and 24, but you can see I have them here. A really amazing coincidence, a person on Discord, a lovely person on Discord called Kazali, she basically went to a shop near her, a charity shop, I think it was the Oxfam shop, and she ended up seeing like the whole of Tsubasa there as well. And then she posted a haul there and was like, oh, I picked up the rest of the volumes that I needed for my collection. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could go there, like if they had volume 22 and 24, because obviously those are the only two that I needed. And she was like, oh, they were still there if you're like around that area. And I was like, nowhere near that area, because basically the area that she was at was like 3 hours away from me by driving, and I'm not going to be going all the way there just to buy like 2 volumes of manga. So I was like, oh, I'm so far away, I won't be able to go. And then she actually private messaged me and was like, hey, I can visit the shop again on my lunch break on the Monday and see if they're still there, and if they're still there I can grab them for you and then just ship them to you. And I was like, that is so sweet of them to do that. And obviously I agreed, and then they went back to the Oxfam shop on the Monday and found the volumes and was like, yeah, they were there, and it was £3.50 a volume. So that is so cheap for like volumes that are so hard to find, like £3.50. So I think the sticker's still on there, let me check. Yeah, £3.49 Oxfam. So volume 22 and 24, £3.49, and then obviously I paid like £3.50 for shipping, so that's like nothing, honestly. Super happy about getting these volumes, and then she shipped them to me and they came, and I was so happy. Thank you so much, Kazali, if you're watching the video, for helping me complete my my Tsubasa collection. But yeah, I got the whole set now, so I have 1 to 28. Oh my gosh, you don't understand how excited I was to receive everything. I was really like scared as well that things would somehow get lost in the mail, and then like obviously compensation is fine, but I would be so upset to have lost the volumes and not been able to receive them. So even stuff like that I was worried about, but they all came safe and sound, and I'm super happy that they all arrived. And let me show you the covers while I'm talking about the story. But this story is basically about a girl who is called Sakura. So in terms of clamp stuff, there is a little bit of crossover with the stories. So there's characters from xxxholic in this story, And obviously there is Sakura and Shaoran, which is also from Cardcaptor Sakura, but they're kind of like in different dimensions, I guess. So it kind of has a little bit of a crossover in that sense, but it's obviously some of the story is not completely related, but they do have relations with xxxholic. And here we go. It's kind of like when Chobits is supposedly supposed to be a prequel to angelic, but there's no really like specific connection there. It's just part of, I guess, the clamp lore. But it's basically about Sakura, who is a princess, and she actually has some like really strong like magical abilities or something to be able to like change the future of the world. And then people are trying to like infiltrate this kingdom that they're in, and something happens to Sakura. I can't believe I forgot what happened, but something happened to her, and then she ends up basically falling into like a deep coma. And then Shaoran, her childhood friend, who is obviously like treats her as a more like princess, but Sakura is kind of in love with him, and he obviously has really strong feelings for her as well. He ends up going to the witch in xxxholic Yuko, so they travel there to this alternate universe where she is, to find out how they can awaken Sakura again because she's in this coma. And so he ends up journeying on this world to all these different dimensions to find fragments of her memory that are in the form of feathers, and then he ends up traveling around to find those fragments. And then he also has like these people beside him who also follow him through this journey. So there's these two people here, this guy and this guy, I forgot their names, but they also are from different universes and end up traveling with him through the events of what happens at the start when they meet the witch from xxxholic. So the story itself, a lot of people say, is really gets really confusing, but I am so happy that I have this, and I'm definitely gonna binge read this series hopefully in this year. But yes, super happy to have finished this series. I'm so happy. But yes, I rambled on so much. Alright, oh my goodness, we got so much to go through still, and I'm sweating now. I ended up getting the 7th omnibus of Tsubasa on Water Books before I had found the signals, so that's why I have this omnibus. But I think I'm gonna give this away to Caitlin, who is also collecting the series, and obviously I don't want this omnibus, so I'm just gonna give it to her because I have now finished singles. But I had purchased this prior and it was like really cheap. It was like £6 on Water Books, so yeah, but this one is just a duplicate copy now. And then another series of clamp collection that I ended up collecting this month is also really exciting so I got the singles of RG Veda or Rig Veda. I always call it RG Veda for some reason, but it is Rig Veda. But I got the first 4 volumes on eBay, and then I found volume 5 really cheap on eBay as well. And then I also found volume 6 really cheap. Oh no, I found volume 6 really cheap on eBay, and then there was a vintage seller who was selling 5, 7, and 9, which are these. After volume 4, it's really hard to find these volumes. They're quite rare. It's super hard to find volume 8 and 10, but volume 6 is really hard to find. And these volumes, sometimes when I do see them online, they come up to like £20, or they just don't come up at all. So I was really lucky. Basically, I don't remember who it was who linked it, but I think Shazzle linked 5, 7, and 9 volumes, and obviously I contacted the vintage seller and was like, I want to sweep all of them. So I ended up getting them, and now I only need 2 more volumes to complete this collection as well. So I have been really lucky this month in terms of collecting clamp series. Like, it's literally been a clamp month for me, and I'm so thankful to everyone in the Discord, Dudettes Discord, who has been atting me when they see like volumes that I've been trying to collect. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this series. I actually hardly know anything about it, so it'll be very interesting for me to start this series. But I heard it's really tragic, and I think this is actually their first ever series that got licensed in English. So I'm really excited to see their debut series. I think it is. Wait, it is Clamps' Smash debut manga. So it is their first manga series published. This cover is stunning. And I feel like the Discord has definitely been into Clamp lately as well. We've been sharing all our finds of our Clamp series that we've been getting. And I'm just so happy that I've been able to find volume 7 and volume 9 in such a short amount of time. Like, able to collect such like a bunch of Clamp series that are really hard to find in such a short amount of time has been really fun. So yeah, excited to try this series for sure. The final series that I got, and then I'll go through the box set, but I got is X. So obviously one of their most famous, and also one that people talk about the most, and also the one that people say is the best Clamp series. I personally haven't read it yet, but I got volume 6 on Water Books for very cheap. It was a little bit scuffed, but it's all good. And then I got volume 4 on Blackwell's, and then I also got volume 3 on Blackwell's. They're like really like scuffed, as you can see. Like, this kind of like shiny material definitely gets really scuffed easily, but they have stunning colored pages in this edition. So it's like amazing. Like, you can see like halfway through they also have these stunning colored pages. So this omnibus is actually really nice. And then volume 2, I got volume 1 is really hard to find right now, and I got this on Amazon for like £12. It was really cheap. I think it was like £11. But the thing is, the glue on the spine has come off. So it's like really, it's kind of intact right now because it's kind of warm, but the spine is basically not intact. So yeah, it's a bit scuffed. So I ended up getting a refund for this. So I basically got it for free because of the spine not being intact. Like, I can like show you, but it's kind of stuck now because I think the warmer weather ended up sticking it a bit, but you can see like it's not intact. But it basically all came off, and then I tried to like just like stick it back together, and it seems the warmer weather has helped. But yeah, I got 4 omnibuses of X/1999. Very tragic series. Apparently there's a lot of death in here. A lot of shit happens, so we shall see. But apparently you have to read Tokyo Babylon before you read X, because Tokyo Babylon spoils X. So if you are trying to read like bunch of Clamp series, definitely look up like not spoilers, but definitely look up like the reading order before you do start reading, because there's a lot of crossover in terms of some of the Clamp stories, and there's things that spoil another series if you read it first. So you don't want to read, no wait, I think Tokyo Babylon is a prequel, so X will spoil the series Tokyo Babylon if you read X first. So read Tokyo Babylon first and then X. Yeah, I said that the wrong way, but yeah, so definitely make sure you read in order so that you don't get spoiled for like a different series. But yeah, that was all the omnibuses of X over here. Alright, this video is getting very long, but I have a really exciting unboxing for a series that I got, and it is Magic Knife Rayearth. Wait, let me turn it around this way. Magic Knight Rayearth box set. This is part 1, and I also ended up getting part 2. So I ended up getting both box sets of Magic Knight Rayearth. They were too stunning to pass up, and obviously I was in this really big Clamp kick, so I ended up splurging and getting both box sets because my in-laws as well as my parents gave me some money to spend for my birthday, so I ended up spending it on these, and I got them on Awesome Books for £70 each. So both of them ended up costing like 140 something pounds, so it's not cheap especially considering there's only like 3 volumes in each box set and then 1 like illustration collection. But it is stunning, honestly. Like the box set itself is really stunning, and I know the books are really stunning as well. So yeah, let's have a little open. So here's the first book. It looks absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness. Like, obviously clamp artwork is amazing. It's beautiful. Do they have any colored pages? Like, look at these. They're stunning. Alright, so they actually don't have any colored pages in here, so I'm a little bit disappointed considering the price of these, that there is like no colored pages. So a little bit disappointed there. It's really pretty though, honestly. And they're in like these sturdy hard covers. But it would have been really nice for them to include some colored pages in this, especially for like the price. This is like one of Clamp's very famous magical girl series, and this character is Hikaru, and I think this is also a crossover from Angelic Leia, because Angelic Leia has a character called Hikaru as well, which also has the red hair. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure exactly what happens in this series, but everyone really loves it, and I am excited to try it in these stunning editions. Let's have a look at the illustration book. Ooh, so this one has all the colored pages in it. So I guess that's why there wasn't that like any colored pages in the books, because it just comes in like a special book here. Oh my goodness, it is stunning though. Clamp's artwork is just, oh, it's just surreal. I love that artwork so much. It's like classic, but it's still like, it's so nice till this day. And there's like a massive poster in here. But yeah, stunning. Love it so much. And then obviously we got this one as well. I'm just gonna open it. But this one is the second part. I'm not really sure what the difference between the first part and the second part is. It's probably like a story plot happens that's a little bit different. But yeah, they look a little bit different now, don't they? Look a little bit more mature. They look so pretty though. But these hardcover editions are stunning. If you're a Clamp lover, I would highly recommend getting this, and get it from Awesome Books because it's a lot cheaper, £70 for each set. Ooh, I wonder who these people are. But yeah, it's still quite expensive for what it is, of course, but if you're like a collector, then I feel like it will definitely be worth it. So yeah, that was the box set. Love it so much. So one last thing I'm going to show you is this Angelic Leia box set of the DVD collection. So I ended up finding this collector's edition on eBay for £50. So that is actually really cheap compared to, because it's out of stock. This is really hard to find, and I got it like completely new, and it's the collector's edition of the whole anime collection, and I was so happy to find this because it's really hard to find now, and even retail price I think it was still like £60 or something. So I felt like I got that for a bargain, and yeah, I'm gonna open it here. Lovely jubbly. I absolutely love Angelic Leia. It's one of my really nostalgic anime series that I watched when I was younger. My cousin at the time got me the first volume of the DVDs, and since then I always went back to Kinokuniya when I was living in Australia to find the next DVDs to buy. And yeah, it's actually just one of my favorite things that I used to watch back in the day, and I'm so glad that I have the whole collector's edition now and I can rewatch them, and because it's Blu-ray I can watch it on my PS5, which is amazing. Yeah, so that was what I got. So as you can see, this was everything I got in my birthday manga haul. Lovely, stunning hardback 25th anniversary Magic Knight Rayearth editions, both part 1 and part 2, and just a bunch of clamp volumes, as well as some like different series. A lot of used volumes this month, which I am really happy about because I got a bargain on a bunch of these things, and as well as some new books over here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very, very long, I can imagine, because I feel like I've been talking for a very long time, but I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you've been collecting any clamp series recently. Let me know what your favorite clamp manga is if you do read clamp, and definitely give a like, comment and subscribe for more manga videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!